Hey, welcome back everybody. Thanks for checking in. Thought I'd do a little bit of another kind of tips on what I'm working on here with my car for some newbies, for people who are new to this, who maybe don't have a mentor at home to help them and they're learning. I enjoy helping others, so I thought I'd start another video here on this topic. It's important, it's safe, very safety related. And I've been working through the brakes on my 1938 Plymouth here. And you hear a lot of people talking about replacing brake shoes, rebuilding the wheel cylinders, replacing maybe the flex hoses. Here we are in the front left corner of my 38. This is a flex hose right here. So there's a steel brake line behind this bracket here. This hose threads into a brake line right here. That's an anchor for the brake line in the hose. And behind there's a little steel line. It goes back. And look, you can see it's broken. It goes back to the brake distribution block. So I'm going to get into that little break here, a broken line. These hoses are old, they got to go. And most people are talking about that. They're replacing these hoses, that's a good thing. They get crusty and they're not that flexible, they could fail. So that's good. I hear a lot of people talking about replacing them, that's a really good thing. They can be stubborn to get off. They corrode and they rust a lot, especially back here behind the wheel cylinder. I struggle with that one. I've got flare wrenches, that helps. Maybe I'll show you a flare wrench that I've been using, just for people to understand. It looks like this. It's a special wrench. It's cut and supposed to bite onto the brake line better than a standard wrench. So you get on there and you just heave it on it, and it doesn't want to break free. Maybe you might want to take a little bit of a propane torch to that. Have your fire extinguisher nearby. That's important. There could be a brake line, brake fluid nearby here, old grease. You don't want to start a fire. If you do, you need a safety plan with that fire extinguisher. So I heated that up. I was able to crack that free. Then this top end up here did not want to come apart at all. Very rusted. So I had a 7/16 wrench on the back side. I have my flare wrench on this side, and I'm trying to get it off and it is not coming. Vice grips aren't helping. It doesn't want to break free. So if that happens, then you can keep working on it, but even if you're in there, if you're in here and you change these lines, I'm begging you to check and replace the steel brake lines. That's the topic of today's video. You can see the line snapped clear off here. It's very corroded and rusty. This is supposed to be a threaded brake line here, that ferrule that threads into the hose. Really rusty shape, very bad shape, and it didn't take much to break that line. So that line was corroding in that area. It's up in the wheel well. It sees lots of rain and dirt and salt maybe in the wintertime over the years of this car. I don't know how old these hoses are. Hope they're not original. Even if they're not, I have reason to believe someone might have replaced them in the 60s, and that's like 52 years ago. So that's got to go. And then that line snapped off. You can see it poking out there. Think about the master cylinder braking system in this car. It has a single reservoir. You get one opportunity to hit the brakes there if something fails, and there's no backup. Make sure your parking brake is in top condition. You can get them relined. If they kind of shake and rumble when you apply the parking brake, that's an indication, I believe, that there's oil or grease on the park brake band and it's not working well. So have a backup plan for your brakes. That's a big point there. Get these lines changed. I've changed every one of them. Here's the one that goes down my front left wheel. It just broke. I'm going to change. This is the last brake I got to do, and this is probably the line in the worst condition of them all. I'm replacing it. Again, park brake in behind the transmission there. There's a master cylinder in here. We're going to make sure everything functions really well. We need safety here. We've got no reserve reservoir to help us. So change those brake lines. And lastly, I want to talk to you about a new tool I bought. I make all my own brake lines. Most people use these. Very popular. I struggle with this thing. I got fed up with it. It's a double flaring tool. You squeeze it on your brake line and you put a ferrule in there. I probably made 20, 30 ferrules with this kit, and just got fed up. I had about 3 more lines left to make on my 38, and I went shopping for something better. And I bought this kit here from Calvan Tools. I found it on Amazon. I think it cost me around, I don't know, 70 bucks or something. 50 bucks, I don't know. This doesn't come with it, that's mine. So what it is you grab the right size. It does both metric and standard brake lines. After you cut your line, that's your reamer for cleaning up the line. Put your ferrule in it. But what's different about it is these are different sizes. This anchor. You clamp it down on your brake line, as seen here, and it sticks out the top. Then you put your ferrule in there. You leave it out a certain amount. And then this goes on. You tighten it down over top. And then you reef on this bolt here and you tighten it down, and it makes a nice bubble there. Similar to the other brake kit here, but it just holds everything together so well. It's easy to get good professional flares. So after you tighten that down, you get a bubble. Then you take this out, and then you put this in there again, and it's just got a ball on the end of this rod here. Let's see if I can unthread it and show it to you. When you tighten it down, and it looks like that. It's not a ball, I guess. It's the same as the end of that, I guess. And it goes in and it tightens down. It makes your flare. But the way it's designed to work, it just does nice professional flares every time. They look like these factory ones. This is the factory end of this line that I bought, and turned out really well. So I highly recommend that kit. There's another snapshot of holding the line up, tighten it down. It's by Calvan Tools. There's our part number on there. Calvan Tools Master Inline Flaring Kit. Very effective. Just give up on that. It's not worth your hassle. It's a pain in the butt. Successful. I used it lots, like I said, but highly recommend this. So there's your safety topic for today, folks. If you're new to this, please be very diligent on your brakes. Replace everything. If you don't know how old it is, just replace it. Have a good one.